It's Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. Sundays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. And Saturdays, we're back live, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Indeed it is Jim Valley, the effing king of recovery, 6-0 against death. Back because of the fans. Lots of finals last night. Very solid wrestling last night at ROH Final Battle, including, I think, something of an upset. New tag team debuts in TNA and a new champ crowned at Final Resolution. And Smackdown had a lot of developments, including a match to decide John Cena's final opponent, including some interesting stats on the last time John Cena tapped out in a match and the very few times that he did. Got to read a Mexico Collision tonight. Some thoughts and stuff about Dynamite when I was there live in Nashville, and so much more. But also I want to apologize. I was supposed to have a recorded show when I was gone, but unfortunately my guests ghosted me, so I was unable to do that. But we're back live this week with so much to do, so much to see. So what's wrong with taking the back streets? You'll never know if you don't go, and you'll never shine if you don't glow. We do not have glow, but we do have NXT Deadline tonight with the women's and men's Iron Survivor Challenge. You know, I gotta say, last year the Iron Survivor was a new match, and it turned out to be a pretty good creation. So I'm looking forward to this year's Iron Survivor, plus Smackdown last night. New stakes added to the NXT Championship match tonight. Talk about that more. Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live. Okay. Sounds a little loud in my ear. I don't know what's going on. Sorry about that.
No, that's fine.
A little loud.
Let me see.
We'll make it work. All right. All right.
I'll just ride the fader a little bit lower than I normally would then.
Yeah, just seemed a little hot. But, goodness me. All right. Yeah. All right. That away. Okay.
You are listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
Spin Valley, it's Wrestling Observer Live, and I'm wearing my new Mickey Mouse, oops, a little crooked there, Christmas hat. It was given to me by Ashley and Scott Fishman, the pro wrestling writer, who does stuff for TV Insider, also has had articles and featured published in Pro Wrestling Illustrated, and among other places. By the way, Scott is doing a raffle right now for an autographed copy, personally autographed, by Natty Neidhart, her new book. And all the money goes to the YMCA of Central Florida. Every penny. You can find it on his X handle at SM Fishman. I'll share it. I just shared it on my social too, on Blue Sky. But I believe you can get it personally autographed. Not just, say to Bob, I'm not signing your 25 Funko Pops in the airport. Love Natalia. Something like that. Anyway, it's a great gift for the holidays if you got a wrestling fan on your list. And right now, no one has bid. So you can be the first bid and maybe walk away with a great deal on an autographed holiday gift. Also, I want to mention that Nature Boy Paul Lee, he's a veteran wrestler. He's been around, he said, like 44 years. Long time he wrestled. But I've met him before at Cauliflower Alley. He wrestles all throughout the South. And his son, Peyton, who I believe is in his 20s, is blind. Peyton, about 10 months ago or so, needed a kidney. Now, if you don't know, to get in line for a kidney transplant, you got to qualify with your doctor, the surgical team, but then you kind of get in line. And kidney transplants are divided up into regions of the United States, and different regions take different times, different amounts of time, depending on number of doctors, number of people, populations, things like that. But Peyton's region is going to take 8 years for him to wait for a donor. So to speed things up for his son and help him live, Paul Lee did a kidney swap. Now, Paul isn't a match for his son, Peyton. What that means is Paul donated his kidney, which is a match for someone else. And in return, someone who's a match for Peyton donated their kidney to him. Now, like I said, I've spoken to Paul a few times over the years. We've seen him at Cauliflower Alley Club. He's always fine. He's fun. He's kind of a character. He wrestled a fun match a couple years ago against Santana Jackson, the Michael Jackson impersonator, which was a lot of really fun match, really great match. But anyway, his wife Tanya reached out to me a few months ago because she knew about my kidney journey and she wanted to ask me a few questions. And unfortunately, because of some dealing with some health issues with Peyton, we were unable to connect. But by coincidence, we were both at Dollywood Theme Park in Pigeon Forge last week. And my wife spotted Paul, and we got to meet in person. It was a very interesting story. As he was talking to Tanya, the doctor told Paul that if he donated a kidney, he probably wouldn't be able to wrestle again. Paul, has got his priorities in straight, more than willing to take that risk for his son in order to save his son's life. But it turns out that Paul, after 44 years of wrestling, has so much scar tissue from wrestling and beating down on his back and such that his lone kidney has more than enough protection from all the scar tissue. And I guess Paul can not only keep wrestling, but to cut through all the scar tissue to harvest Paul's donated kidney, it took extra time because it was so hard to get through. So Paul, what a hero to do that for his son So next time you see Paul Lee, think about that. Peyton, got to meet him. He's a bright, funny young man. And most kidney transplant patients name their kidney. And I'm so jealous because Peyton came up with a great name for his kidney. You ready? Peyton's kidney is Kidney Omega. How great is that? Kidney Omega. Ring of Honor, Final Battle, Friday night. Before we get into the results, I want to mention that after the event, since everyone's still talking about this, at the media scrum, the third question, not the first, third. Oh, media. Anyway, someone finally asked him about Netflix apparently winning the bidding war for Warner Brothers Discovery. And Tony Khan says, and I tend to agree with him, it's too early to comment. Just don't know what the future holds. But Tony did stress that he has a great relationship with Warner Brothers Discovery, continually saying that there was still a lot of time on their deals with TBS, TNT, and HBO Max. Called David Zaslav, the guy who made the sale, a friend of AEW, and says he's excited about the future. He says that in regards to all the publicly known bidders from Warner Brothers Discovery, including Netflix, Paramount, Comcast, he has great relationships with all of them via his NFL dealings. But he did say that there's over 2 years on their deals with Warner Brothers Discovery. So sounds like at least he's confident for the next few years. Tonight, a collision. Ricochet defends his national title. Also, Mercedes Moné versus Layla Gray for the TBS title that was made after Final Battle last night. Continental Classic Blue League. Claudio Castagnoli, who's leading with 6 points, takes on Masco Dorado, who has 0 points. Blue League, John Moxley, who has 3 points, takes on Takeshita, who has 0 points. And Blue League, Orange Cassidy, who has 0 points, takes on Roderick Strong, who also has 0 points. Plus, Swerve will appear. Last night, Final Battle, a lot of solid wrestling all night long. And we'll get into some of it. But I've got to talk about the big news. Boy, that Mercedes Moné, that Mercedes Hogan, always getting her way. Stupid. It was an upset, and I'm not sure many people saw it coming. Red Velvet regained her ROH TV title that she never lost by beating Mercedes Moné. And Mercedes Moné went into shock. And I think a lot of people are expecting her now to go into a nosedive. A lot of people looking forward to that. So we'll see how that goes. Another title change. Sammy Guevara, Beast Mortos, representing LFI, beat Tom Billington and Adam Priest when Mortos pinned Priest after a moonsault and interference from HSM. And then the first ever ROH Pure Women's Champion crowned as Deonna Purrazzo defeated Billy Starks by submission after Starks had used all of her rope breaks. In the 0 hour, Outrunners defeated the Premier Athletes. Ace Austin, who I thought looked great. Lee Johnson also looked great. But Austin beat Lee Johnson with the fold. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but Ace Austin looked a little more put together than, looks a little scruffy sometimes on TNA. So I thought it was a better look. The optics were better, I thought, for Ace Austin. So good for him. Wheeler Yuta, Daniel Garcia defeated the grizzled young veterans. And as I mentioned, the main pay-per-view, Deonna Purrazzo captured the first ever Women's Pure Championship over Billy Starks. 30-minute Iron Man match. Very good match. Lee Moriarty defeated Nigel McGuinness. It's tied at 4-4. Nigel came back to tie it up right at the very And then in sudden death overtime, with Cradle, Lee Moriarty defeated Nigel McGuinness. So they were doing an exchange of roll-ups. Moriarty trapped Nigel for the pin. And afterwards, Nigel, who wore the pure title in the ring, gave his classic pure title to Moriarty. Talk about more coming up. Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer.
Oh, clear.
Oh, he does have 3 points. I'm sorry. You're right. I apologize. Oh, goodness. I agree with you on the main event, Tiger Maker 100. Did not need to go 27 minutes. It was too long. It would have been better shorter. We'll get to that. It's just oh, goodness.
If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes to the IRS or state, don't worry. I've got important news that may help you negotiate a lower tax bill. In today's economy, the IRS has released a variety of new rules and is offering more flexible terms to help Americans looking to settle their IRS debt. If you apply today, you may be able to lift your wage bonus or freeze on your bank assets or business. Our team of tax professionals can resolve your case and stop collection actions against you. Even if you've been audited or haven't filed a return in years, they can help. Call right now and find out if you qualify to settle your IRS debt. Pick up your phone right now and call us for a free $500 IRS tax return. Here's the number.
Call right now. 800-943-9215. 800-943-9215. Again, for the last time. That's 800-943-9215. I've got a question for you. Do you want a lower car payment just by making a phone call? You know, most people buy a car and they pay whatever the car dealer says there is, and forget about it and make it. But did you know there is a secret in your contract that allows another company to refinance any car payment to try and lower it? It's true. There is indeed a company out there that knows the ins and, more importantly, the outs on car loans, and they know how to lower your car payment. It's easy and fast, and you can have a lower car payment next month.
All right.
Call right now. Find out if you lower your existing car payment. Call the car savings hotline right now. The call is free. Call now. 800-605-1680. 800-605-1680. 800-605-1680. That's 800-605-1680.
Listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
Jim Valley, it's Wrestling Observer Live. ROH Final Battle last night. As I mentioned earlier, the surprise of the night, ROH World TV Championship. Red Velvet defeated Mercedes Moné to win the title. I mean, I thought Velvet looked great, probably the best she's looked in a match. And, you know, Mercedes, I can't believe all these people are, like I've mentioned before, people just have a hard-on for Mercedes. And, you know, she made Velvet look great. Toward the end, Mercedes countered Velvet into the statement maker submission. And Velvet used the ropes, pushed off with her feet, roll over on top for a counter pin to win. I mean, come on. And then obviously, we'll see what happens with Mercedes tonight as she faces Layla Gray for the TBS Championship. I don't know that Layla's going to win, but it'll be the next chapter as perhaps Mercedes descends into madness. ROH World Tag Team Championship. New champs Sammy Guevara, Beast Mortos defeated Dynamite Kid Tom Billington and Priest to win the titles. And Eddie Kingston defeated Josh Woods. It was fine. I don't know. I mean, I feel like Ring of Honor should be the place for guys like Josh Woods to win. But need to put over Kingston. Kingston called out Samoa Joe as he hit the DDT and pinned Woods for the victory. Gearing up for Winter is Coming as Samoa Joe defends the AEW World title against Eddie Kingston. ROH World Six-Man Tag Team Championship. Shane Taylor Promotions defeated the Skyflight team to retain the titles. Taylor cracked Darius Mark with a KO punch to the ropes, and Dean scored the pin to win. I thought maybe Skyflight, because they got the new push with Christopher Daniels and such, they might win the titles, but alas, it was not to be. AEW National Championship, no surprise, Ricochet defeated Dalton Castle to retain the title. Poor Dalton Castle. Outside, Ricochet shoved one of the boys at Castle, and Castle tended to his boy. Upon re-entry to the ring, Ricochet blasted the Spirit Gun to win. ROH World Championship with a survival of the fittest. It's kind of funny. Blake Christian came out with an ice cream mask styled after Bandito's, and instead of a handkerchief that hangs down, the bottom of his mask looked like the cone of an ice cream cone. Kind of funny. Commander pinned Sammy Guevara first, the Celito Lindo. Hechicero pinned Beast Mortos with the head scissors driver. I thought Blake Christian might make it to the end. He looked great, I thought, tonight. I thought he was very much star of the match. Blake Christian pinned Commander with the lethal injection. There was kind of a scary Commander Bandito spot, kind of a standing toss move where Commander barely made it over the top rope, and it could have gone ugly. Bandito pinned Blake Christian with the up and over roll up and kind of upset Christian, who then attacked and injured Bandito's arm on his way out of the ring, which allowed Hechicero, the last two Hechicero, Bandito to work on Bandito's shoulder and arm. And in the end, Bandito rallied, showed his heart at the big comeback Poison Rana and Round the World roll-up to win and retained his title. Afterwards, Bandito celebrated with Brody King and Commander. Survival match went 27 minutes, but you got, 5 guys in the match. The main event, Athena defeated Persephone to retain her ROH Women's Championship, but Persephone did great. Athena's great. There wasn't anything wrong with the match. I agree with Tiger Maker 100 that Final Battle was good show, solid wrestling, but the main event did not need to go 27 minutes. I don't know, just felt like too much as far as, things go. But anyway, Athena hit the O-face, the flying stunner for the win. It was a good finish, but the Forever Champ, the match took forever as Athena celebrated the end with Diamante and Billy Starks to close the show. But I think it would have made more of a statement if it was more around 17 to 20 minutes, but I guess they wanted Persephone to, look strong. She looked great. Thought she looked great. We'll see if she sticks around and does more stuff in AEW and Ring of Honor. TNA Final Resolution Friday night. We'll give you a couple of spoilers, then just the matches, no results. So only a few spoilers. We had pre-show, Cedric Alexander taking on Eric Young, and then I guess the biggest spoiler of the night, Stax, formerly Channing Stax Lorenzo, beat Steve Macklin to win the international title using Lexus King's walking stick. I guess the other thing is, after the tag team match, The Righteous debuted as well. And they got some who are you chance of things, which is unfortunate because I think the Righteous are really good. They've just kind of had a streak of some unfortunate events that have kept them, I think, from achieving the full potential. Also appearing on the show as a team, C.W. Anderson. Yes, that C.W. Anderson. Brock Anderson and Bear Bronson, they faced Moose, Brian Myers, and Eddie Edwards on the pre-show. Other big matches without spoilers. Santana versus Charlie Dempsey on the pre-show. The Inspiration versus Tessa Blanchard and Victoria Crawford for the Knockouts Tag Team titles. Vance Warner versus Matt Cardona in a street fight. The new Knockouts champ, Lei Ling Yi Lee, took on Zaya Brookside for the Knockouts title. Order 4 versus the Rascals in an 8-man tag. The Hardys put up the tag team titles against Tyson DuPont and Tyrick Igwe. X Division champ Leon Slater versus AJ Francis and JDC, the former Johnny Curtis and Fandango, challenged Frankie Kazarian for the world title. And then after the world title match, there was a big brawl at the end with TNA and NXT talent going at it. And I guess the big news is that authority figure Santino Marella was knocked out by his daughter's fiance and new international champion Stags, which is going to make for an awkward Christmas, I guess. Maybe Boxing Day. I think Santino lives in Canada, doesn't he? Maybe Boxing Day. Anyway, Thursday it's Danny Luna versus Indy Hartwell in a dog collar match. They also announced that TNA Genesis going to take place Saturday, January 17th in 2026, the Curtis Caldwell Center in Garland, Texas, suburb of Dallas. Pre-sale will be held Tuesday, December 9th. Tickets going on sale to the general public on December 11th, and the event will be available on pay-per-view in addition to streaming on TNA+. And the next ROH show is going to be on December 26th, the Boxing Day Brawl. So, very Canadian. Maybe they'll have a big Bonhomme ringside at the Boxing Day Brawl. SmackDown Friday night, they did Survivor Series highlights. And the highlights always look great. I mean, in this stadium, Survivor Series looked amazing. Maybe the best looking Survivor Series ever. But the matches were kind of whatever. They open up the show. Alexa and Charlotte are walking. Kabuki Warriors are walking. LA Knight is not only walking, he's wearing a cowboy hat. It's like Malibu Stacy. Ooh, he's got a new cowboy hat. Gunther's walking. Drew McIntyre is getting out of his truck, arguing with Nick Aldis. Says, unsuspend me, I won. At Survivor Series, Aldis says he's still suspended. Then Drew gets back in his truck and suddenly he's attacked by Cody, who's in the passenger seat. It's kind of funny. Revenge for, I guess, the attack in his bus. Cody stomps right to the ring, gets on the mic, and yells at Aldis to reinstate McIntyre. Drew broke the unwritten rules. So unwritten, I've never heard of it. The unwritten rule by breaking into his bus where his child and wife sleeps. It's going to stomp Drew like a cockroach. Backstage, Motor City Machine Gun still holding Axiom's mask. Tommaso Ciampa wants the U.S. title. Carmelo Hayes says, well, too bad. He's got next. So it's Ilya Dragunov versus Carmelo Hayes. And they do a video, the Terror Twins, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. They're back next week. Mixed tag, Zelina and Aleister Black. I'll bet you Damian's super happy because he was super over when he was part of the Terror Twins. They split them up and he kind of lost all momentum. So, Royal Rumble is going to be in Riyadh. Everyone's excited for it. So we had the U.S. title match, Ilya Dragunov defending against Carmelo Hayes. Look, I think Ilya Dragunov, he has the same match every week. Great match, but it's the same. Talk about that and more.
clear.
Do you have Medicare and do you use a CPAP machine? This is a national healthcare alert regarding your CPAP supplies. Using a clean CPAP mask and clean supplies is important to staying healthy. The best way to make sure your CPAP equipment is clean is to get new supplies. If you have Medicare, we have great news. Medicare will pay for you to have new clean supplies every 90 days. We'll even do all the paperwork for you to make sure that there's little to no out-of-pocket cost to you. And you don't even have to leave your home. We provide free in-home delivery. So if you're a CPAP user and you have Medicare, staying healthy with new CPAP equipment is easy. Just make this free phone call right now to get started.
Sponsored by Specialty Medical. 800-913-9739. 800-913-9739. 800-913-9739. That's 800-913-9739. Packages start at $29.99 a month with sign agreement. Restrictions apply. Speak to a representative for complete offer details. See Vivint.com for license details. Terms and conditions apply.
Homeowners, if you're looking for the best in home security and smart home technology at a price you can actually afford, we have great news. Now you can get Vivint's award-winning home security systems starting at about $1 a day. U.S. News and World Report has recognized Vivint as the best professionally installed home security system of 2022. And right now, you can get Vivint's home security technology for about $1 a day. Plus, get free professional installation from a licensed technician. Protect your home and loved ones for as low as $1 a day. Call right now for your free home security consultation.
800-918-6189. 800-918-6189. 800-918-6189. That's 800-918-6189. Do you have a book? Get it out of your mind and make it a real book with a free guide to book publishing. Trying to publish a book yourself can be complicated. It takes a lot of time. Time that you could spend writing your book or even more books. Do what you do best. We can do the rest. Thousands of authors across the nation have trusted our book publishing service. We have the connections to help you get your book printed, distributed, and sold on Amazon, Apple Books, Barnes & Noble, and bookstores nationwide. We can do it faster than you can on your own. Get your free guide to publishing. It's a free phone call. Remember, make this free call right now and learn how to turn your book into something real that people can buy. Get your free writer's guide. Call right now. 800-482-8399. 800-482-8399. 800-482-8399. That's 800-482-8399.
You are listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live, running down last night's Smackdown. Dreading next year when Smackdown goes back to 3 hours. Anyway, Ilya Dragunov, Carmelo Hayes, they kind of teased the finish earlier when Ciampa was mad that Carmelo had the next title shot. Ciampa comes out, pushes Hayes off the top rope. Dragunov and the ref didn't see it, and giving Dragunov the victory without realizing it. And when he saw the replay, as he's walking to the back, Dragunov was very upset. Lexa and Charlotte are interviewed. Charlotte said she did Survivor Series for Lexi because she needed her. Very heel-like, I thought, for Charlotte. By the way, Charlotte's abs, wow, she's very lean. The video of last time tournament, LA Knight talks to us. He wants to beat John Cena. He's an unstoppable force like Gunther has never seen. And he does the Matthew, all right. So, okay. Video superstar saying John Cena's the greatest. It's Kairi Sane versus Alexa Bliss. Sane was very sassy during this match. Sane stomps on Alexa, who's holding onto the ropes. And she was holding onto the ropes forever. Hate that spot. Sister Abigail, Asuka tries to distract Charlotte with the kick. Alexa blocks the elbow. It's the Sister Abigail for the win. 1, 2, 3 on Kyrie Sane. Nia Jax and Lash Legend after the match attack Alexa and Charlotte. Asuka kicks Lash. Nia powerbombs Charlotte, and Lash and Nia hold the tag team titles. You know, a lot of people talking about age in WWE, and you can see right now they're building for the future. Putting Lash with Nia Jax, teaching her how to wrestle as a giant, she's going to learn under the learning tree of Nia Jax. That's obviously building for the future. You can see other things like it's happening on Saturday night's main event and such. And I don't know, people always complain about age. I just don't see it as a major issue right now. Cody and Nick Aldis meet with Ricky Saints and Obafemi. Tell them whomever wins today, the title match at Deadline will face Cody on Saturday night's main event. Nia and Lash Legend, they got revenge for Asuka missing Lash at War Games, and now they're coming for the tag team titles. Video recap of Chelsea Green getting attacked by Jade during her title celebration. Jade Cargill versus Alba Fire. Chelsea ringside. Chelsea slaps Jade, and suddenly Julia appears. Chases Chelsea backstage, and Jade takes over, pins Alba Fire with Jade. So looks like Julia is still in the hunt. Fraxium wants the Motor City machine guns. Ilya Dragunov wants Ciampa next week, and then Tamatonga again stares down Dragunov. So there's a match in the very near future. B-Fab and Michin are now friends. Good for them. Michin also has a kendo stick. Good for her. They confront Jade backstage, and Jade is going to ask Nick Aldis for a match. Okay. Solo and the MFTs. The MFTs have no makeup. Solo addresses the Wyatt Six. Uncle Howdy's been watching them. They want the tag team titles, the MFTs do. Solo points to the sky, obviously meaning Bray Wyatt, the late Bray. Says he's going to take everything. Howdy doesn't deserve the name Wyatt. And all Solo has to do is believe. Obviously a reference to Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy's former team. Lights go out. Wyatt Six are lined up outside the ring. MFTs are lined up outside the ring for some reason. Anyway, Howdy's face to face with Solo in the center of the ring. Brawl ensues. Tonga eventually. Everyone powders out, and Tonga is now face to face against Eric Rowan. As Brian calls him the Vintner. They exchange blows. Tonga bails out, leaving Rowan and the Wyatt Six standing tall. Backstage, Miz tells Aldis he should be the focus of Saturday night's main event. Bailey's backstage. We also find out that Bailey is going to face Sol Ruka at Saturday night's main event. They also hint that Bailey may be at NXT Deadline. Wonder if Sol's going to pin Bailey on Saturday night's main event. Wonder. Anyway, Gunther, a great promo. He's going to beat Knight and Cena. His condolences to everyone. And he wants Cena to pay attention how he beats LA Knight tonight. Video from Aleister Black and Zelina. They're not afraid of the Terror Twins. Mixed tag team match next week. Also, Ciampa versus Dragunov, and Alexa Bliss takes on Lash Legend. Main event time. LA Knight and Gunther. Knight looked really strong against Gunther. But eventually, he tapped to Gunther's cravat stretch. Gunther again. Another great tournament match. I mean, he's been great in this tournament. He's been the star. But what do you do with him at WrestleMania? I don't know, kind of feels like he's the odd man out with Punk and Cody, unless they put him in a three-way. Does he face Brock? What does he? I don't know, but this is interesting. I saw this on Squared Circle. But as the show came to a close, as I mentioned, Gunther promised to end John Cena's career by making him tap. Now, According to this person who posted on Squared Circle Reddit, John Cena hasn't submitted in a televised match since No Way Out 2004. 21 years ago. Amazing. And it's only one of 3 submission losses in Cena's entire career. And here are the 3. Kurt Angle, he submitted it. No Mercy, 2003. Chris Benoit, after a match in 2003, after Big Show interfered, that was on Smackdown. And again, Kurt Angle, No Way Out in a triple threat match that involved the Big Show in 2004. So that'd be pretty amazing. Quite a mark. And I wouldn't be surprised if John Cena did that to get Gunther over. So CMLL, Friday Night Arena Mexico, they honored Diana Linares, who's the 1 millionth ticket holder, bought the 1 millionth ticket to Arena Mexico. She was presented with a custom championship belt. Lucha Blog said she wasn't very surprised, so maybe they told her in advance. Main event, Silverado Jr. and Defunto defeated Mystico and Mascara Dorada. And also in the semi, Titan Templario and Neon defeated Volador Jr. Inferno and Barbaro Cavanario. NXT Deadline tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Peacock. Ricky Saints versus Obafemi NXT Championship. And the winner faces Cody Rhodes next week on the big Saturday night's main event. Men's Iron Survivor match gets an NXT title match at New Year's Eve. Javon Evans, Leon Slater, Joe Hendry in his first. PLE is a member of the NXT WWE roster. Dion Lennox and Miles Bourne, and whomever scores the most falls in 25 minutes wins the match. Women's Iron Survivor, Sol Ruka. I wonder, since she appeared on SmackDown, if she might be the favorite now. We'll see. Lola Vice, Kalani Jordan, Jordan Grace, and Kendall Gray again. Most falls in 25 minutes wins. Tatum Baxley versus Izzy Dame with Sean Spears, who haven't seen him in a while, and Nico Vance, her corner. And for the NXT North American title, Ethan Page versus Mr. Iguana. That should be a lot of fun. Ethan Page has been really great. Mr. Iguana, what can you say? So this could be a lot of fun. Don't expect title change, but you never know. I want to mention on Thanksgiving Eve, as I told you, November 26th, landed in Nashville to spend Thanksgiving with our friends in Tennessee, and by coincidence, AEW was in town, and my friends decided they wanted to go because they wanted to see me in my element, which scares me. That's what they think of me. And because my wife loves a theme, everyone got to wear T-shirts. So she and her best friend were the Outrunners because they think they're a tag team and they like the 80s. Their daughter, we gave her Tony Storm, which, the chin out, boobs out, watch for the shoe. Her daughter didn't really get that. But once she saw Tony come out, got a promo on Mox and Marina, she thought Tony was pretty cool. She even wore the shirt again before I left. Her husband, he's retired military, so we got a red, white, and blue AEW logo. I chose Beast Mortos because he's awesome. None of them had been to live wrestling before. I sat next to the husband, able to explain some things, so that helped. He's from Louisville, loves the University of Kentucky, especially basketball. When they taped Ring of Honor before Dynamite, I forgot, or maybe I didn't even realize, Billy Starks is from Louisville, so he was cheering on her, and it was a bonus. Billy beat Yuka Sakazaki to advance in the peer tournament. But they watched the show, loved it, which really kind of surprised me. Even Justin Roberts was nice enough to come over and take a picture with them. Tony Schiavone came by, said hi. They didn't know Tony, which kind of surprised me because he's been on TV forever. But Tony was hilarious. He introduced himself. He goes, "Hi, I'm Jim Ross." Very funny. But, the wife and wife's friend, my wife's friend, Deanna, and her daughter were pretty quiet till David Arquette appeared at the taping. But days later, we were ready to leave. And my wife always asks, what were your 3 favorite things about the trip? And all of them listed going to wrestling. They love the athleticism and some of the characters. And I think a lot of people have preconceived notions of wrestling because probably from WWE whenever they watched it years ago. They thought AEW was pretty cool, which, made me happy because I would have felt guilty if they'd been bored and I made them sit through the whole thing. But the group was getting tired, so right when Collision was starting, they let me go backstage, talk to a couple of people, including Tony Khan, took a picture. Saw Christopher Daniels, my mortal enemy from Defy. What a great guy he is. Love Christopher Daniels. My wife got a picture with the Outrunners. She was wearing her Outrunner shirt. So I love that. But it was kind of funny that we left and nobody turned in any spoilers for Collision. And I mentioned to Dave and Brian that probably wasn't staying for Collision, so don't expect spoilers from me. But I left, no one turned in real spoilers, and some people sent in bogus spoilers, which, felt like that was my fault. We were tired. It's a long day. I didn't want to make my wife sit through that. I would have otherwise, because it looked like a pretty solid show. But just Kevin Knight was amazing. Darby got injured. Just some great matches. Love the whole show. Tell you what, the Pinnacle, a place in Nashville, is a great venue for watching wrestling. Stand by, Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer.
All ends with beginnings.
All clear.
And it's spinning.
Hey, airline travelers, let's say you have a problem and you need to change or cancel an existing airline reservation. What do? Well, Skywatch is a free service that can help anyone with any airline reservation fix it. Whether you want to cancel it, change your dates, or add passengers, we can help fix your airline reservations so you get exactly what you need. We've updated our computer database and now have access to every airline around the globe. So now you can make one phone call regardless of who booked your airline tickets, and we'll change it, cancel it, and fix it for you. We know the insider secrets to fixing reservations that the airlines don't want you to know about. So if you need to cancel, change, or modify an existing airline reservation, call Skywatch right now. It's a free call, so let us fix it for you. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. That's 855-325-5647.
Hello, Americans. It's Uncle Sam here. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes to the IRS or state, don't worry. I've got important news that may help you negotiate a lower tax bill. In today's economy, the IRS has released a variety of new rules and is offering more flexible terms to help Americans looking to settle their IRS debt. If you apply today, we may be able to lift your wage garnishments and release a freeze on your bank assets or business. Our team of tax professionals can resolve your case and stop collection actions against you. Even if you've been audited or haven't filed a return in years, they can help. Call right now and find out if you qualify to settle your IRS debt for far less than what you owe. Pick up your phone right now and call us for a free $500 IRS tax review. Don't wait. Here's the number.
Call right now. 800-943-9215. 800-943-9215. 800-943-9215. Again, for the last time, that's 800-943-9215.
I've got a question for you. Do you want a lower car payment just by making a phone call? You know, most people buy a car and they pay whatever the car dealer says their interest rate is, and they forget about it and make payments. But did you know there is a secret in your contract that allows another company to refinance any car payment to try and lower it? It's true. There is indeed a company out there that knows the ins and, more importantly, the outs on car loans, and they know how to lower your your current car payments. It's easy and fast, and you could have a lower car payment next month. Make this free call right now and find out if you could lower your existing car payment. Call the Car Savings Hotline right now. The call is free.
Call now. 800-605-1680. 800-605-1680. 800-605-1680. That's 800-605-1680.
You are listening to Wrestling Observer Live on the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network.
Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer Live. Want to welcome Michael Mathis, 2499, brand new YouTube member. Appreciate you being here. Someone also wants to know if Tony was still scared for his life. I'll tell you what, when I went backstage, it was during Collision, it is so freaking dark back there. I was scared I was going to trip over it. And I do want to mention, when I was back there, standing next to Tony, while he was sitting down running the show, Claudio came up, and I'm just standing there like nobody, and he introduces us. I say hi, and I'm sure he couldn't even see me, but Claudio mentioned how excited he was to go to Mexico and wrestle in Arena Mexico, and this was obviously before he won the CMLL heavyweight title, which I didn't even think about. But, and I go, yeah, I mean, dude, you deserve to be on an international platform. You're so versatile, and, you can do it all. And he goes, it's one of the reasons that he signed, he said, with AEW, so he could do all of these, wrestle in all these different places and different opponents and different styles. So I thought that was pretty cool. But lots of wrestling tonight. Deadline should be good. Also, Mox versus Takeshita should be a lot of fun as well. And don't forget, check out my social or Scott Fishman on X, SM Fishman, to sign up for the raffle for a personally autographed copy of Natalia Neidhart's brand new book. It's a great book, very blunt about some things that happened. And again, you can get it personally autographed or get it autographed as a gift for one of your friends. So check it out. I'll have it on my socials. Scott Fishman has it on his. And again, every dime goes to the YMCA of Central Florida. Scott's getting no money. I'm getting no money. It's all for kids in need and their programs. So sign up for the holidays and do a good thing about the kids of Central Florida and keep them active and doing positive things. All right. I should be back next week. Maybe it'll be a recorded show. Maybe I forget. Anyway, have a great week. Enjoy wrestling tonight. And we'll talk to you next time. And remember, it's only wrestling. Jim Valley, Wrestling Observer.
All right,
my
Jim.
friend.
Have a good week. I will talk to you next week. All right.
That show went fast. All right, man. Thanks.
All right.
There we go. All right. I'm here. I didn't see the JCW Lunacy episode. Where does one watch JCW? I don't even know. Yeah, Claudio was beaming. He was really happy. That was pretty cool. It's funny. Yeah, it's funny because I'm just standing there just talking to Tony and Khan. And I think it was Kip Sabian who was next to him. They said they'd had some technical problems that night. Things turned out okay. But that, I'll tell you what, that Pinnacle is a really nice venue. It's only been open, they told me, since February. So not even a year. It's not a bad seat in the house. And it's great. I mean, I'd love to see a concert there. If you're in Nashville, there's an event you want to go to in the Pinnacle. I highly recommend you go. It's a great place. Yeah, that'll be great. Claudio versus Ultimo Guerrero. So me, I'm nothing. I'm just a guy who's watched almost 50 years of wrestling. So I've been sick So that's why I have this voice. I was intubated for a very long time. That's why I sound like Flying Brian Pillman. Oh, why not? It doesn't bother me. I'm not, I mean, no, there's very little you can do to shake me, so it doesn't matter. Look, I mean, I know, it's funny. A lot of people, criticize Tony, and that's fine. But I have a friend who's really into cars. He lives in Portland, and I took him to see AW in Portland a few months ago. And he loved it, loved the athleticism, loved everything. And my friend is into cars. He knows who Shad Khan is. There's a lot of respect for Shad and, just all he's accomplished. What a giant he is in the car world and the world in general, being a billionaire in commerce. He's, a lot of respect. And, he has a lot. When he saw Tony, he'd never seen Tony Khan before. Came out and talked to the crowd. He's like, that guy has so much passion for this. And I didn't say anything to him about Tony Khan, nothing. But my friend, just by looking at him, goes, gosh, that guy's got so much. Yeah, Portland, Oregon. Sorry. Portland, Oregon. Anyway, you're right. Portland, Oregon. Not Portland, Maine. Because I'm on the West Coast. But anyway, Tony comes out, was talking, and my friend was like, wow, that guy's got so much passion for this, and I'll bet the wrestling fans love it. And I go, yeah, some do. And then I mentioned some of the criticisms, and my friend just was, blown away that people were so critical of him because he thought he was great. And again, that's not me, in influencing him at all. But I mean, I do agree. I think Tony's got a lot of passion for wrestling, obviously. Yeah, I thought the 6-man was great. That was a lot of fun. I really kind of thought they were. I thought I thought Skyfly. What are they? Yes, I thought the Skyfly was going to win, just because they're kind of getting a new push. They have a new manager, all that kind of thing. I thought they'd kind of feud with STP for a while, but that didn't happen. But no, everybody looked good. You can't go wrong with the infantry and Skyfly. You just can't, as far as that goes. And I mean, everybody in that match was super solid. I think Blake is great. What was I going to say? I think just that guy could make me look good in matches. When he's there to make somebody else look good, I don't know if there's anybody better in wrestling at doing that. And that's meant to be a very high compliment. But hopefully, I really feel like Ring of Honor should be a place for Blake and for Josh Woods, different people like that who don't win on AEW, but they're competitive. Lena Cross, that should be great. What was my favorite match? Let me think. I mean, it's hard because it really wasn't a bad match. Wheeler Yuta, Daniel Garcia, grizzled young veterans, thought that was good. I really liked the Iron Man match because there was so much. I forgot to mention this, but it was almost pure grappling. And I always hear people say AEW, and I guess Ring of Honor counts under the same umbrella. All the matches are the same. And I'm watching this grappling match. It was very exciting, very well done. And, you never see a match like that on WWE. 30 minutes. And I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it. And to be honest, I was kind of dreading it a little bit because, it did kind of follow the same pattern that most Iron Man matches follow, where it goes into overtime. All that stuff, where they come back right at the end to win. Let's see, anything else was fun. Yeah, I think looking over it again, checking everything, I think, the tag team match, the 6-man was really good. I really probably enjoyed that the most. And the as far as matches go, the Iron Man match. No, it was a good show. I mean, it's everything you want, I think, from a Ring of Honor show. I just wish they went too long with that. So, yeah, that would be good. Yeah, Commander should win in Ring of Honor too. And East Austin, I thought he looked good. So, you're a big hater. So why do you like it now versus earlier? Curious. I don't know what Sammy's doing. That's a good question. Braun Breaker and CM Punk, I mean, they're doing the match early, which screams angle to me. Because if you're going to crown the new champion for the new era, you do that at WrestleMania. That's when you do it. So this feels like it's got to be an angle of some kind. Maybe Seth returns, cost Braun Breaker or something. I don't know. We'll see. But, if anyone's winning the title, I think it's got to be at WrestleMania. I'd be very, very surprised if Braun wins, unless maybe he's defending against Seth, unless Seth is back sooner rather than later. We shall see. But there's clearly an effort on WWE's part and even on AEW's part to, make some new stars. Obviously, Kevin Knight has been booked to stand out in the tournament, and he has. God, what a performance. That was an amazing match on Thanksgiving Eve to see that live. I mean, God, that guy is so athletic. It's crazy. And then, it's really looking forward to Fletcher and Okada. And it was just different than I wanted. We didn't get 5-star Okada. We kind of got dorky chaos Okada. And there was a little more comedy than I wanted or expected. Still good. We shall see. Yeah, Jey Uso. That guy. Kind of, I don't know if you worry about him or he just is what he is. So, who knows? I'm just curious about James Jones 3 times. What do you like now versus what you hated earlier? Oh, he found his groove. Okay, there it is. Storytelling. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I get that. I can see that. Sure. Yeah. We shall see. I think it's weird that John Cena says he's opening the show. So I guess they're making sure he doesn't get cut off like Goldberg. But then do you risk everyone tuning out after that? So, yeah, Kevin Knight. That guy's been great. It's going to, what do? You make him, does he challenge Ricochet for the national title? What do you do with him? We'll see. People responded to him. He really was great. Really great. Very impressive. He could be. He certainly should be. He's definitely taking advantage of the opportunity. Plus, Darby was very unselfish. Fortunately, Darby got hurt, which sucks. Yeah, maybe Rollins helps Braun win it. And we shall see. And maybe then Rollins expects Braun to give up the title to him. So, yeah, Kyle Fletcher is so flippin' good. It's ridiculous how good he is. I should hate him. Oh, by the way, you know who else was at Nashville? Conrad Thompson was there. They said something about him recording a podcast. I didn't ask with who. I think it was really any of my business. So he recorded with somebody. I don't know. There you go. You know what else was kind of funny? I messaged about this. So I was backstage when Collision was going on, the first couple of matches, and I walked by the M&M collection, and I saw Mason Madden wearing the lion head that he wore to the ring. And to me, it just looked like his usual goofy style that they pretend is style. I didn't think anything of it. I saw everyone else backstage. Again, I just didn't pay much attention because, I want to be staring. I want to be respectful and, just be there to do what I have to do and not stare or bother anybody. So I was, I glanced briefly, but didn't really register with me that they were all dressed like the Wizard of Oz. Yeah, Conrad's a very nice guy. He's a nice guy. He looked good, I thought too. Grew his beard out, wearing outdoorsy clothes. Looked like he could be from the Northwest. Looked like the brawny paper towel guy. The Masked Attacker. It's a good question. I mean, they didn't really talk about that other than the opening video package last night. So, I don't know. I mean, is it Theory? Is it Rollins? Is it Jericho? Is it somebody else? We shall see. But it was, I thought Theory was initially supposed to be in the Vision, but we shall see. Yeah. MJF versus Fletcher. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. The idea for the Vision, obviously, is to launch Breaker and probably, to a degree, Bronson Reed. That's the reason for these groups. Put them together, break them up, and try to make some stars. And obviously, Rollins probably does need to get back into the Vision so he can break up the group, turn heel on probably Braun Breaker, and eventually lose the title to him, or someone does. So we shall see. Yeah, they did look like the Wiz meets the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yeah, everything was anticlimactic with the War Games, and I don't know. It's kind of funny to me that people are critical of AEW with blood, and I get it. For years and years and years, most of its existence on the national scene, WWE, WWF has not done blood. There have been moments, and there are moments, now at times, but it's not a regular thing. And I get how people are turned off, but the thing is, during the territory days, wrestling, I started watching when I was a kid. There's lots of blood. Starcades, War Games, and, cage matches. I'm not saying I'm demanding blood in WWE, but if you're going to escape the cage, and if you don't have blood, it's like, I don't understand the purpose of the cage. Sorry, I'll speak up. I'm a little away from I'm a little away from the microphone. Sorry. Montez Ford is the Masked Attacker. I would love something to happen with Montez Ford. And I don't know what his deal is. Yeah. What is his deal? I don't know. Oh yeah, when Family kicks out Takeshita with Fletcher. I'd be surprised. I think Fletcher, there's still more juice in the grape to squeeze out for Fletcher being a heel, being a top heel, I think. I don't think it seems a little early for him to face, and also it waters down Takeshita's face turn. If Fletcher turns with him, you have both of them. So I'm going to say no. Plus, if you also turn Fletcher, then there's only, 37 people in the Don Callis family, and that seems a little light to me. Yeah. We shall see, yes. Ospreay returns. Yeah, Ospreay, Takeshita, Fletcher. Yeah, they would be. Could do that, certainly. So, I don't know, I'm not saying necessarily do cages the right way, but do cages. So, what are the stakes? If people can escape at times, even though you said they can't afterwards, they can still escape. And there's no blood. What are you doing for the cage? So, there should be, you can never escape, period. Or something, nowhere to run. Something to make it work. And especially when you're hyping it as war games. War games is violent. War games put you in the mind of it's going to be war. It's going to be down and dirty and ugly and in the trenches. And there could be injuries and blood and what have you. And then there's just not much. So, you can still make it interesting without blood, but it just seems very light. Look, and I understand. You've got these all-star teams. You got your main eventers all in the War Games match. And all these people have WrestleMania plans, big matches. Plus, these people want their big WrestleMania payoffs, their big Royal Rumble payoff in Riyadh. So, I get it. I get why that match was the way it is, but I don't know, maybe just go back to having an entertaining 5-on-5 Survivor Series match. So, yeah, Callum Newman has the size and ability. He does. He absolutely does. I just don't know what his contract is as far as I assume he's New Japan talent. And he'll still keep getting better and better and better. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, no, Callum Newman's great. And he's got a bright future. There's a lot of people who have a lot of bright futures. I think Tekla has been bright. I have not heard anything about Anna Jay stay or leave. Yeah, that's true. There was no mention. So that could be a hint, or maybe just means she hasn't signed yet. We'll see. Yeah, I just don't know about what happened with Montez Ford. I don't know. It could be something with kind of like with Swerve, where with Swerve they thought he was more interested in being a music star, his music career, rap star, than being a wrestler. And that's one of the reasons they let him go, is that perception. So perhaps there's a perception of Montez Ford that he's more interested in something else than wrestling. Who knows? It just seems like they had a guy who could do it. And even his partner's good too. Both those guys are great. Show great fire. I don't know. But he has been around for a long time. I don't know. So, yeah, put him King, Queen of the Ring. Who knows? We shall see. No, he's great. ROH is better than Smackdown and Raw. ROH was wrestling. It was pretty strictly wrestling, whereas we had some storyline stuff with SmackDown and Raw, and building toward the tournament and everything. And it's going to be curious to see LA Knight. There's going to be some people who are maybe left out of WrestleMania because you got Cody, obviously. Looks like you get Cody and Roman, number 3. And then it looks like you're going to have, CM Punk and somebody, Braun Breaker, or whomever. And then what? Then what do you do with, LA Knight? What do you do with, a lot of different, Drew McIntyre? Oh my God. So Cody wants Drew McIntyre again. How many times are you going to beat Drew McIntyre? It's like, is his contract up? Yeah, they could be king and queen like Sharmell and King Booker. That could be fun. Maybe make it go to their head and give Bianca a little more personality. That could be fun. It could be a lot of fun. I like that idea. It's a really good idea. No update on Keith Lee. Guy must still be in rough shape. Wasn't it like long COVID? And that's bad. That can be rough on people, especially a guy his size. MJF, come back, plug him in. He'll be solid. I mean, whatever he wants to do, he can pretty much, I think, ride his own ticket. He'll figure his way in. But I think it's smart to kind of work people in and out as far as, injuries or fake injuries. Give people a little time to breathe and come back and be fresh again. Yeah, I think I wouldn't do an exact repeat of King Booker, but, where it goes to their head. They think they're better than us. They think they're, they're royalty. They're above everyone else. They have maybe some subjects, some minions who do their dirty work. Stuff like that. We shall see. But, yeah, I think it would be good. And I mean, everyone loves Bianca, but she kind of needs, something, a little personality. Okay, I was thinking about Julia. I'm glad you brought this up as far as fumbling Julia. I mean, how long has Io Sky been around with WWE? Quite a while. Until they finally gave her the name, and she was kind of a partner of Asuka, kind of the Marty Jannetty, I guess, even though she's, one of the best wrestlers in the world, maybe the best wrestler in WWE right now, maybe. But, it took her a while to find whatever connected with the crowd. And obviously the little point at the face thing and smiling and being super happy, and it connected. She's not the killer, the serious wrestler that Io Shirai was. She's kind of showing more of that idol culture that they did in Japan. So it took her a while. And, sometimes it takes people a while to kind of find that thing. As Lauryn Hill sings, that one thing. And so it may just be taking Julia a while to find whatever it is that she needs to connect, the catchphrase, the pose, the gimmick, something that she needs to, find her way in the WWE universe. So, I mean, it's easy to say that she's not the breakout star that a lot of people expected. And maybe she won't be. But there have been other people who have taken a while. And she just doesn't have that thing yet. That thing that people can emulate. Catchphrase or mumble or pointing or some kind of gimmick. So we shall see. Oh yes, Nick Khan, mid-card You won't get rich, but you'll have a pretty good life. It is a stupid word. That's kind of, that's what they do. And think about this. If AEW goes away, and I have a hard time thinking that it will. I'm not saying it's going to stay on WB forever, but if it goes away, I mean, you needed to stick around because that mid-card talent, it's going to be even less rich. They're going to be even more not rich. So, keep that in mind. There's going to be very little bargaining power. And that's, at the end of the day, what TKO wants. Same thing with the UFC guys. Those guys make so little money. And the stupid, power slam. $3,000 to scramble your brains. God, I hope. I don't believe it is, but I hope that thing's will work. Because those poor kids. I feel bad for, what's her name? Hollywood Haley J. I feel bad for her doing that. For just $3,000. Those billionaires making people do that. They're laughing their asses off. For just $3,000. $3,000 is nothing to these people. Nothing. But they know it's a big deal to people like Haley J. It's just, it just goes to show you, just, I don't know how the money goes. Yeah, it's better, but it's worse. But you think about it. Think about if you're one of those people who's just at the mid card, and you're not quite one of those rich people. That would suck. Hey, John Grega, how are you? Good. I don't know. I don't know. I was thinking about people complaining about Gunther being the final opponent for Cena, when I think they wanted a Saya Kamatani, but Breaker is in a different program. I mean, here's the thing. With John, God bless John Cena. But, he's broken down. He's washed. And look, he gave his body to wrestling. He made millions and millions. He's a big star now. So, he certainly got something in return, but the guy cannot go. And that's not a criticism, okay? I'm not disrespecting it. But they need someone with a ground game like Gunther who can, make John Cena look good with what he's doing and laying in. It's like, if there's a high-flying guy where he's got to run, do all that stuff, then, John's going to probably not have the best final match. But he can play to Gunther's strengths. Gunther can help him because he's strong and big. And he can, maneuver Cena and get the best out of Cena. So, and Gunther's look great in this tournament, making everybody look like $1 million. He can do the same with Cena. They obviously think Gunther is a lifer and, world champion. He'll be champion again at some point. So, he's a good choice. I don't know, who else you can do. You can't bring really many people back. You need somebody healthy who can get a good match out of John Cena, because anybody older, it's going to be rough. Anybody of John Cena's generation may not be able to do it because they're broken down too. Just like Tanahashi. Okada's the best person to do it, to get a good match out of him. And it's better than, Nakamura. And they've Nakamura. So, yes, indeed. Getting all that money. Yeah, AJ Styles, first show on AMC. That would be great. Put him in there. Someone safe. That'd be great. That'd be a great draw for the first show on AMC. I don't know how WWE thinks about it. They wouldn't let him wrestle on other shows, TNA. So we'll see about this one. But yeah, no, Gunther's a great choice. And beating Cena, my tap out will be a big deal and a big feather in his cap. Like I said, he can ground game, make Cena look strong, and there you go. She resigned. Karoshita. I don't know. Or does she have visa issues? I don't know. Yeah, Santana needs to win a world title. If not on the AMC debut, at least soon. I mean, I could see introducing him, making him sympathetic, making people want to see it, and then, a couple of episodes in, have him win. Either way, but it does need to happen. We shall see. It all depends on what WWE wants to do. You'd think they'd be interested in that. But again, you want to put him in there with a safe opponent, and just have a basic match, nothing too spectacular. And, maybe like one of the Rascals or something that he could, easily just have a good match with. Someone's going to fly around the ring, take his moves, and then, be done. Very easy, very quick, and then boom, boom, boom. And then just make sure that AJ doesn't do anything that's too difficult. But who knows what they want to do. And I mentioned this when I think I posted this on Blue Sky. But if TNA is making $10 million a year for 3 years, I do hope that the people who are making part-time money get raises or get full-time gigs. At least that's what I hope. And it seems like if they're traveling all over to different places to tape, I don't know, it seems like they're spending a lot of money on travel. But I'd like to see part-time people make some more money or get some full-time gigs. That's where I think would be a good use of the money. But that's just me. Yeah, it was horrible. It's going to be studied for years. And who knows when we'll finally find out what happens. I think people have an idea of what happens, but no one has been public. Maybe they never will. Yeah, John's a trooper. John does what he's asked. And John Cena, who loves Vince. He loves him. I don't know. It's amazing. There was a time when saying that could have killed his movie career. And it's not going to. And I'm not saying it should. I'm just saying it would have in the past. But I'm sure because it's wrestling, it went underneath the radar. And of course he said it before. And I don't know, I think it, I don't know. Does it say something about Cena's morals and values? I don't know. Maybe it does. Oh yeah. No kidding, right? Christopher Daniels come out with this Appletini, Joe, and yeah, I don't think that's. Cody should. I think Cody will at some point. He'll turn heel at some point, and he'll make huge money. But it's not the time just yet. We shall see. Oh, yeah, that SummerSlam match. Yeah, with Punk, Brock, yeah. And even, I'll tell you what, people are talking about the Nexus. When John killed the Nexus, thought he shouldn't have lost. He should have lost. Should have made Wade Barrett. Barrett can talk. Barrett has great presence. He looks good. He's big. Fine wrestler. They should have made Barrett. They didn't. And that was dumb. But it is what it is. Cena was there when, yeah, time marches on, doesn't it? Time. He's been around 23 years. I remember I was at WrestleMania 19, Seattle, and my friends, so it's Johnny Fairplay, you know, from Survivor. He wanted to go to the bar see the wrestlers, and that's not really my thing, but he wanted to go. And I remember seeing Randy Orton, John Cena talking at the bar, and John came out, wasn't even on the show. He did like an Eminem rap to come down and did that. Didn't even wrestle. And it was just funny that, these guys were the top guys. I mean, you knew they were going to be the top guys. So, 23 years, so long ago. It's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, I understand that he, made Cena multi-millionaire, the top guy, protected, all of those. I get that. I fine. It's fine. Whatever. Why not just talk to Vince and go, look, I really love you, but I got to say something bad about you. Why not do that? Oh, well. Yeah. Who knows? Yeah, Bantus Barrett was a fun gimmick too, yeah. But I don't know. Barrett should have been made. Should have been a top guy. Should have been one of Cena's, great opponents. But, I don't know. I don't think Cody is never going back to AEW. He's the top guy. It would make no sense. He's this generation's Cena or Hogan or whatever you want to call him. No, makes zero sense to go back to AEW unless something awful or catastrophic happens. No, he's going to be the legend. At some point, in years, however many years, Cody will be the new greatest of all time. And then whomever comes after that will be the greatest of all time. So no, that would make very little sense after everything. No, Cody's top guy, and they're going to treat him like that. So no, he's made. He's fine. And I don't know. What I do wonder is, go ahead. I do wonder is who's going to win the NXT title tonight? Ricky Starks or Obafemi? It's like Ricky is Cody's guy, but Obafemi is big and he's very impressive and obviously built for the main roster. So it's like who do you spotlight? And I don't know. In my opinion, I think you do Obafemi, but who knows how that's going to play out. Obviously, whomever it is going to look great against Cody. So we shall see. But yeah, it does depend on the landscape. But I think Cody's chances of going back are very, very small, very minuscule. Never say never, but very minuscule. Jericho, he could. Edge already's in the Hall of Fame. He wanted to retire and have his last matches with his best friend. So that's what I think. So that's why he did it. Being friends with Christian was more important than anything in wrestling. I understand that. So, yeah. Hope is going to the main roster. Okay, yeah, maybe. Maybe Oba just goes right to the main roster. Clearly they're moving people up, and obviously every year after WrestleMania, they move people up. So now there's definitely a push to move some people. It's like musical chairs. They put people in chairs who then ends up standing up and is kind of SOL. Now, I didn't get to see New Japan yet. I did not, so I've not seen the whole thing with Yuya and Shota and Tanahashi. Yeah, no, I haven't. No, I don't know. No, so, no big deal. Sorry, I can't help you that one, Crash. I need to watch New Japan. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff to follow overnight, so I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and his relationship with FTR as well. Good point. Good point. Now I think it's here's kind of a funny story. So on that Thanksgiving Eve show, Swerve came to the ring. Everyone's chanting, "Whose house?" Swerve's house. And I mentioned my wife's friend's husband. His name's Dave. He is a retired military. He's a police officer in Clarksville, Tennessee. And he mentioned, it's kind of funny, that he also has a Swerve in his life. But he's not African American, but he's some kind of guy who allegedly has served time for drug offenses. And so he allegedly may be a guy who knows how to get things. Allegedly. So he's dealt with this other Swerve many times. He's just laughing that he also has a Swerve in his life. Apparently Swerve was going to trial and decided to defend himself, be his own attorney. And he cross-examined my friend. I guess that did not go well. So it was kind of, my friend laughed that there was two Swerves. There's a good Swerve in AEW. He's a really nice guy. And a troublemaking Swerve in Clarksville. So, you like the photo of Fumi's Thanksgiving Day plate? Yeah. You know, Fumi, as you probably know, was an exchange student in Minnesota in the early 80s in the AWA. That's where he wanted to go, see AWA. And so he loves Thanksgiving. So most every year he goes out to a place to have Thanksgiving dinner. And in Tokyo, it's very hard. It's getting harder and harder to find it. So he made his own Thanksgiving dinner, and I thought he did. I did great. Yeah. Yeah, you just never know as far as things go. But Cody needed to leave. It was time to leave the territory. And obviously it was the right move. Made a lot of money, bigger platform, top guy in the top company, WrestleMania, all that big stuff. He's Street Fighter movie, all kinds of great stuff. He made the right move. And Jericho was probably making the right move as well. He needed to leave the territory. And, if they're going to do a retirement angle with him, that's going to be curious. Does it go? Is he going to retire right away? Is it going to be months, years? What is it? And who is it? Kevin Owens seems likely. Obviously, Gunther seems likely. Who knows? But we'll see what happens with Jericho. Cody made the right move. There's no question about that. And more credit to him as far as that goes. So, love it. I mentioned it. I mentioned, no, I didn't. I do want to mention that we went to the Hatfield McCoy dinner show in Clarksville, Pigeon Forge, one of the many dinner shows they have. It's all based on a famous feud of the Hatfields and McCoys, and a feud. It's got music, dancing, choreography, and stunts, all kinds of fun stuff. And I guess you'd call him the lead in the show, plays the mayor. I don't think he has a name. He's just the mayor. He's a comedian named Derek Zoo. And Derek is a big wrestling guy, big wrestling fan. He's been involved in a lot of indie wrestling and stuff in the area, ring announcing and other things. You know, I think he knows Cody Rhodes to a degree, and other people. Good friends with Paul Lee too. But if you ever go down to Pigeon Forge, you want to see a dinner show, I encourage you to go to the Hatfield and McCoy's and support a fellow wrestling fan and wrestling guy, Derek Sue. He's also a comedian. Maybe you'll see him Comedy Barn or other places. So, yeah. So, there you go. Cody could be a good booker. Yeah, I mean, I think he wants to stay there and be involved. That would be great. So, yeah. Fun. Yeah. So there were issues just as yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, Cody is a big star. He's a benefit to the company, and it certainly benefits everyone to keep him around, keep him engaged, involved, and always in a good position. And there's many more stories to tell with him, as far as babyface, heel, all that stuff. There's lots more to do. So I mean, he's got lots of time, and he's 40, so he could do a few more. But yeah, I mean, took a risk and it paid off. That's a big deal. Look at like Juice Robinson. Juice left WWE because he was NXT because he was like the moonchild, losing all the time with that gimmick. Became Juice Robinson in New Japan. And now, I know he's kind of stalled out, which is interesting because he wanted to be Juice Robinson to be serious. And he was serious for a while. Then he's doing, goofy stuff again because I think that's just his nature. Yeah, hard work as well, strategic. So yeah, I mean, he clearly had potential in WWE. Cody did, and when he was dashing Cody Rhodes, Stardust, and all that, I mean, he put everything into these things. So yeah, I mean, I never understood what they didn't see in him and why they didn't like him back then, but he showed them. He laughs last. He definitely has. Good for him. So, oh, there's lots of that. There have been for decades, century, as far as secrets. And I don't know. I mean, yeah. Darn. I was going to say something and I forgot when I took the drink. Yeah, there's lots of it. I mean, there are tons of things that don't necessarily pertain to the business of wrestling that don't get out. I mean, like, for an example, when Paige and those guys, that video came out, that has nothing to do with wrestling. And that would have been just a secret had the video not come out. And look, like I've said before, you've got young, pretty, athletic athletes, in physical primes. And I'm sure there's, lots of people either, hooking up and dating for a while or hooking up and not dating. That's kind of the way workplaces work, and that works. But, if it doesn't affect wrestling, it's nothing to do with wrestling. My opinion is that's none of our business. There are things that are just none of our business. So, Yeah, lots of people help people out. So, oh, that's nice. Thank you, James. Glad you like it. Yeah. Look, I know that there are podcasts that rip on AEW, and that's fine. And I'm sure that there are people in WWE who look at AEW and go, well, that's the wrong way to do it. They're doing it wrong. And oh goodness, got socks?
From Danielle.
Oh, thank you.
The Grinch ones.
Are these
McDonald ones.
Oh, jeez.
She got 2 pairs of the same ones.
Thanks. All right then. My friend went to McDonald's and got 2 pairs of the same socks, so now I have Grinch socks without going to McDonald's. They smell like French fries? Nope, they don't. Anyway, yeah. What do you say? I'm glad you're talking wrestling. What were we talking about? Yes, give socks. Yes, very fun. Yeah, there. There's Max and Cindy Lou. There's the McDonald's logo. There's the Grinch. Yeah, there we go. So, very exciting. How exciting. Very exciting to wear those. But yeah. Let's see, here, let me give you an example of a secret. When I was backstage at Collision, Tony had mentioned that they'd taken Darby to the hospital. I didn't know how serious it was, but look, I'm standing right there. They invited me backstage as a guest. I didn't think it was fair to report on that because, that's, they'll never invite me back again backstage. Now if I would have learned it, someone told me that, that's different. I'm going to report it, but because of the way I heard it, I didn't think, by my journalistic standards, I didn't think it was the right thing to do. And so I didn't say anything because that's not, again, I have no problem with that because, like I said, if I would have found out another way, then that would have been fine. When you're invited back and you're standing there, it's like you're respected, and you're being respectful. So that's, Oh, I think I also talked to Mox backstage, but it was so dark. I think it was him. They told me it was him, but I couldn't see if it was him. Yeah, there was Mox, and anyway, that was cool. Everyone was very nice. I saw David Arquette backstage, but I didn't want to bug him because he almost seemed like too big of a mark, too big of an idiot. Tony was wearing a nice satin suit. It was very shiny, so yeah, it did. It rained. Yeah, exactly. Small backstage there, by the way, in that theater. It's very, very tight. There are some different rooms and places. But yeah. A lot of talent was watching TV in one room, watching the broadcast. So that was good to see. But yeah. Still, Darby, I'm sorry he's injured. That sucks. But he went out of his way to really make Kevin Knight. That was lots of unselfishness that night, I felt Mox, even though he beat Masquerade, was very unselfish. I felt Okada was very giving as far as Fletcher and everything. I thought it was great. Yeah, that match was in Nashville. Yeah, that was in Nashville. That was the opening night of the tournament, right after Full Gear. Yeah, I'm ready for NXT. Should be a fun show. I mean, that Iron Survivor last year, when they described it, I was like, yeah, okay. I wasn't that impressed, but the way they put it together was a very entertaining match. I thought it was like very entertaining. Like I've said before, I think this incarnation of NXT has been a big feather in the cap of Shawn Michaels. It's very impressive. And you got to give him, I think, a lot of credit as far as talent, booking the matches. I think he's done great. And he's had, there's always been questions about Sean's discipline and commitment. And I think he's proven to everyone. So he's had, since he came back in 05, he's had a hell of a run for 20 years. I think it really has made up for, some of the problems he had during his earlier years when he was much less professional. Brian Alva. I have given Brian some Christmas presents. I sent him like some Portland Wrestling Christmas sweatshirts. Same thing with Dave. And they never wear them. It's like, you don't have to give me a gift, but come on, these are great shirts. They're fun to wear at the holidays. The only present I think I got Brian that he ever liked was when I came back from Liger's retirement in the Tokyo Dome. And they were selling the Liger hats that have the little bladders you can push up and move the little things. Brian liked that. And that's about it. So, he's hard to buy for. Just got to get him meat. That's all you can do. So, anyway, he is. I think it's pretty obvious when you hear Danielson talk and explain things in commentary that he's got a hand in the booking. He's explaining things as a wrestler. I mean, I think Brian is valuable with what he offers. Don't misunderstand me. But I don't think he is a great broadcaster. But I think he offers good insight. He's obviously very familiar with the booking and what they want out of it, stories they want to tell. And he's great at explaining things in kayfabe as a wrestler. The damage, how tough someone is, things. Oh, you're very sweet. Thank you, James. I appreciate that. My voice bugs me, and I know a lot of people turned off by the voice, and that's the way it is, but I really appreciate people. I try to give you the best content I can. So it means a lot to me, James. Thank you. It means a lot. Yeah, Brian. Yeah, Brian. Yeah. Brian would dig a Bucks pumps. Yeah, right. That's true. Yeah, just buy him off the Bucks backstage. Like I'm reading the Stan Frazier book, the Plowboy Frazier, Uncle Elmer's book, and he sold watches and gimmicks and stuff backstage to the guys, like fake Rolexes and things. Be just like Plowboy Frazier. It's going on for years. It's a pretty funny book, so I'm enjoying it. But it's good so far, but I just gotta do it. All right, kids. Well, you know what? I should probably get this thing up from the website because they never put my stuff up early. They just don't. Anyway, I think it was a pretty good show. It's good. Anyway. All right. So Terry Funk got choke slammed out of his shoes by The Undertaker. Hell in the Cell with Mick Foley because he had to kill time. No, thank you. I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for hanging out. And yeah, enjoy Saturday, whether you watch Collision or NXT or spend time with friends and family, whatever. Just kidding. Anyway. Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. Well, it's very nice of you, James. I appreciate it. It's always a pleasure. Indeed, all of you. Thanks for being here. And we'll have a show next week, too. I think I may be recording it, but I'm not sure. All right. Love you guys for being here. Appreciate it. Talk to you next time.